Applying My Experience to the Classroom by Abby Lebeski. This year, I started working as a lunch and recess monitor at the UW Lab School. Initially, I saw this job as the perfect way for me to make some money, and I didn't think I would ever form such important relationships with the kids and administrators as I did. I watched the kids in grades 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, and junior high. Now that I'm in the second semester of being with them, I have gotten to know all of their names as well as many of their personalities. Along with that, I have become just as close with my coworkers, including the lunch lady, the teachers, the principal, the secretaries, and the school counselor. Out of all the grades I watch, the 1st and 2nd graders and the junior high kids are my favorite ones to be around. While I appreciate all of the grades, these 3 different groups in particular have taught me so much. The 1st and 2nd graders have grown so much intellectually just from first semester to now. It's amazing to see how smart kids of this age can be, and I didn't realize that until I was around them all the time. When I come to work and see how excited they are to see me, it makes my day and makes me appreciate the little things in life even more. Watching the junior high kids was not as simple at first. These kids are young adults and they were difficult to figure out. But with time, I was able to get to know all of them better. Now I enjoy watching them interact with one another and am still fascinated by some of their conversations. A particular experience I had with a junior high boy, John Doe, has resigned with me still to this day, and I am grateful for the experience. John, his friend, and I were outside on a snowy day, and they were the only 2 junior high kids to come outside that day because of the weather. I didn't mind because these 2 kids were always easy to watch and never had to be told what to do. Then I noticed that John had wandered over to these 2 people who were arguing on the sidewalk right next to the playground. These people turned out to be his parents, which I quickly realized when his mom started yelling at him, saying things like, "Look what you did. Now she thinks you're an effing project and you have to see a therapist. You don't even want to be in school. Why don't I just effing homeschool you then?" Then she continued yelling at the husband, saying, "This school knows that I have no effing money and they're targeting me. Why don't you just get an effing lawyer?" I was absolutely mortified that these parents were not only screaming at each other in the middle of campus, but also acting this way toward their own child. I wanted to say something to the parents, but I decided against that and just called the kids in, saying that it was time to go inside. John lingered at first and then came inside. I pulled him aside and held back my own tears as I asked him if he was okay or wanted to talk to me about anything. Of course he said no and walked up the stairs to his class. After that, I went in and told the counselor about what I had witnessed, and was luckily able to point out the parents from the window because they were still out there arguing. The counselor thanked me for letting her know about what had happened and said that she would be talking with John later on. Witnessing that scene and actually having to act upon it was a huge learning experience for me. I wish that John never had to go through that as a young teenager because no child deserves to be talked to and treated that way, especially by his own parents. However, this made me realize that John is not the only kid going through something like this, and that there are most likely many other kids just at the lab school dealing with situations like that at home. When I have my own classroom and my own students one day, I will always remember John's incident and keep in mind that I'll have kids going through family issues in my class. I think the most effective thing for these kids is to go to school. School can be an escape from their home lives, and I will be sure to make it an enjoyable, safe, and loving learning environment for them.